Yeah, my car definitely likes to lay the pipe down on me. Okay, so it's the day after blowing my clutch on the RX-8, and today my goal is to at the very least get the trans dropped, if not like completely finished and clutch change out and everything. I'm gonna try my best to get the car up high enough so that I can get the trans from underneath the car. And if I can, then I'll be able to swap out the trans for my 19,000 mile S2 trans. And yeah, then I won't have to drop my trans again just to swap it out. Okay, now that should be plenty of room to drop things, but I don't think that'll be enough to actually get the trans out. But when we get to that point, we'll go from there. Worst case scenario, I'll just put this trans back in. It does leak at the bottom, so yeah, I don't know. Just top it off and just send it for a little bit more, because it's been fine so far, but whatever. Okay, cross members out, and next things I'm gonna remove are these two little cross member thingies. It's just 12 millimeter bolts. Missing one of them, and I think this is the front one right there. Then I also got to take out my my mid pipe and my intermediate pipe for the Racing Bee catback. Also, that's one thing I love about the Racing Bee catback, because it has a bolt-on intermediate pipe instead of the stock one, which is like a twist removal thingy. It's way back there, you can't really see it from here, and I'm too lazy to get up to go over to show you. But yeah, just two bolts holding that in, and this whole middle section of the exhaust comes out. Then we can move on to other stuff. Okay, so Dom's here, and he's doing stuff, and and we're gonna get continuing on the car. We got those two other little cross member things out. And next we're gonna get the center section of the exhaust. Okay, so we're taking off the center section of the exhaust now. I don't know how many times I said that at this point in the video, but here we go. For whatever reason, I thought this was 23, but nope, it is.
Hey, I thought it was 17. So
yeah, he thought it was 17. Don't listen to him.
I have a Hyundai.
Yeah, I was gonna say he knows things, but he doesn't. But no. Okay, so I'm just over here beating myself up. I've already hit myself like a couple of times in the face.
It's all right.
Yeah, this sucks. So I'm just using the 14 mil spanner to kind of hold in place while I ratchet this bitch off.
Spanner, that's from another country. I thought that was a monkey wrench. Oh, I didn't know your VIN's on the oil pan.
Really?
Your VIN, JM1 FE.
What's the last four?
3855.
This probably is the original engine.
Your VIN is stamped on the bottom of the car. That's awesome.
I did not know that about Series 2 pans until just now. I have like 6 or 7 Series 1 pans and none of them have it.
So does that mean if you need an oil pan, you have to go to like the Mazda dealership? What's your VIN? We need your VIN specific oil pan. That'll be about 2 weeks we have to have it made.
Actually, when you go and order a new oil pan for a Series 2 from Mazda, it takes for fucking ever to get. Okay, how am I doing this?
So when you unloosen it, the spanner.
Oh, this shit was loose.
Really?
God damn it. I need to put Loctite on it. Actually, no, Loctite won't hold, will it?
Red will.
Ooh.
Loctite Red will definitely hold that.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely hold when I try to get the shit off. God. If I do use Loctite Red, we're swapping out the trans. Fuck this thing.
Let's just get a whole new car at that point.
Fuck my clutch fluid. Time to sell the car.
Watch out for that pipe's gonna fall on you.
Oh yeah, but I'm used to it. I'm used to getting piped down. It sounds so wrong.
I was gonna make a joke along that line and be like, you know, you were trying to like lay some pipe into the car.
Yeah, my car definitely likes to lay the pipe down on me. What do you know? I don't think I've ever screamed like that.
You got it in video too.
I'm fucking crying. Okay, so the center section of the exhaust is out now, and yeah, I had enough of me getting piped down. Now I'm gonna it's like perfect timing and everything. Now I'm gonna remove the exhaust hanger, the one exhaust hanger that's holding it up now, and I don't have a flathead, so I'm just gonna use a Phillips. So yeah. Okay, next thing we're gonna remove is this. I think it's like a protective plate for the drive shaft. And it's all just 12mm bolts the whole way down the power plant frame. And after the power plant frame protector thingy, then we can remove the frame itself. And the drive shaft. Yeah. You know what? I'm stupid. I'm jumping ahead. We need to remove the shifter assembly stuff from the top.
No.
We can remove this now.
That up there, that little plastic can support the whole weight.
Oh, you're right. Me fucking up should probably get more views. No, well, remove this now, and then we'll do the shifter assembly inside the car, and then we'll do the power plant frame. And that's how we're going to go about that. Okay, so we're at Walmart right now, and we realized we didn't have an oil pan with us. But, you know, right when we get in here, I saw the gayest shit I've ever seen. Yep, that was the gayest shit I've ever seen. Okay, we're back. So we're gonna start draining the trans oil, and then while that's draining, we're gonna undo stuff in the interior and, well, get moving on. Low on trans fluid. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know how much that is, but it didn't take very long to get to this point of draining. But yeah, there's a good amount of metal shavings. Full focus. And I think there's a couple chunks in there. I'll know 100% for sure when we wipe it off, but looks like there might be a big chunk in there. And you know, maybe after all, my fourth gear might not be so good.
There it is.
Because every so often I'd have an issue where the fourth gear would just pop out on its own while cruising, and I'd just pop it back in. It would never have an issue after that. But yeah. So we're gonna let this drain out and wipe this off and see what's what, and then get on to the interior. Ooh. All right, so now we're gonna wipe this off and see what comes off.
Is this RX-8 ASMR right now?
Well, there's definitely a lot of sludge in there.
No fourth gear?
No fourth gear. All right, so we're just gonna go through, see what kind of metal chunks I could fill. I think it's just metal shavings, but no large chunks. Still not favorable, but better than not having large chunks. So, no, whatever. It's high mile trans, just going in the RX-7, so who cares?
Whatever works.
All right, so now we're just gonna take this shifter assembly stuff out. I got Felix here for support, so yeah, if anything fucks up, I'm gonna blame him. But you should be using like a plastic tool or something, but I don't have those, so I'm using a flathead screwdriver, and I'm just gonna pop shit out.
Just delicately remove.
Yep.
Delicately remove.
I should take this off first, but I'm doing this first, so who cares? Right, that's loose. Okay, RX-8 interior is actually pretty easy to take out. Oh, this has less rubber boots. Okay, so oh, gotta take this off too. Shit, I don't remember the last time I had this off. All right, so there will be 4 10mm nuts holding this rubber boot assembly on. I think this is the only rubber boot assembly. There might be one underneath, but I do gotta get this off. I'll put it down more.
Use it, Felix is a good armrest.
Ah, fuck you, Felix.
No.
He's not even helping. Okay, so gonna take these out. Oh, no, it might be a good time to time lapse it.
But I'm watching you. You are bolting with intent.
Okay. Try and get it in there. Nope.
You lose.
I lost. I'm a loser with an RX-8.
It's okay. I mean, I drive a Velociturd. So not much better.
Am I stripping it? Shit.
Way to go, Nate.
Actually, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I can take all this shit out.
Hit it with a wrench.
How long has it been since I have actually done this? Holy shit. Okay. Oh, maybe it's just those. Okay. Give me a Phillips.
Phillips. Where they at? Under
Where'd
the car?
you go, Phillip? Okay, so shifter assembly's out, and it's full of rat's nest stuff, so I'll pick that out in a little bit. But I'm just putting these bolts back just to keep track of them so I don't lose them. And oh yeah, the other ones are in here, so should be able to lose those pretty easily. Take this out and try not to dirty up my interior too much.
Yeah, better watch out for those seats.
Yeah, there's no replacing these. Yeah.
Well, you have to go find another one of how many cars?
1,500. Let's see. No, I'm gonna keep these 10 mils here because I know they're there and I have video proof of it. So what we're doing now is we're removing the drive shaft nuts and bolts and stuff. There's 4 of them, and luckily this car has a fully working e-brake thing, unlike the SA, which that was fun getting it out of that car, but whatever. Anyway, it's a 14 mil on both sides. I was able to get one out already with just the ratchet. So I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, come on, get the fuck out of there. Ah! There we go. That's what I like. Unless it strips, then that's not what I like. All right, so
So you're gonna upgrade your drive shaft to a more lighter one?
does it get any lighter than carbon?
There you go. We're back. We're back. We're alive. And you're breaking stuff. Oh, that hit my hand. What is this?
That is a washi board.
Oh, a washer.
Let's not lose those.
Oh, did you get it?
Yeah, I got it. So, they'll usually be like frozen to the diff. Oh, fuck, my shoulder blade keeps popping weird as I'm laying on it. Oh shit, where'd the other bolt go? I'll find it right there. Okay, that was easier than I thought. Anyway, they'll be frozen, so just like kind of tap them out with your ratchet and they'll pop right out, no problem.
Or be smart and use like liquid wrench.
Yeah, but we're not smart, so yeah, just do what I say. All right, so go and loosen the e-brake again so I can turn it.
Loosening e-brake. Down.
Up.
Up.
Nice.
We did it. That's solid teamwork right there.
Are you still recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, just repeat that 4 times. It's a lot easier if you have 2 people, but you could do this with one, which is what I usually do. Okay, so after a bit of a break, eating dinner and whatever, back here, and see, Dom had to go back to his house to eat dinner and stuff. Might be back tomorrow. hopefully so. If not, then I guess I'm doing this tonight and tomorrow. So I don't know if I'll be able to finish this tonight. It's like 9 or something right now. Oh, what time is it? I don't know. I don't have a clock visible for me right now, but let's get back to removing the power plant frame and possibly removing the trans and clutch flywheel assembly.
Yeah, so not sure if I went over this before or not, but these are not 23 mil. Instead, they are 21 mil. So yeah, also they are pretty tight from the factory. I do not know what they're torqued down to, but had to use the jack extension thingy and put it over the ratchet in order to loosen them, but they're all loose now. And also, this looks like a lug bolt, like a really short one. But yeah, that's I think it's called a security bolt. It bolts into the side of the diff.
Okay, so when you're removing all the trans bolts, well, to remove your trans, definitely helps to have another rear iron to use for reference. Even though this is a 2010 RX-8 Renesis, still shares the same exact bolt pattern as all rotary Mazda rotary engines going back to 1973. So same exact bolt pattern the whole way through. So let's see, I think that might just be a place dowel. Is it? Right, no, yeah, bolts go into there. That is I don't know what that is. It's a little squishy thing in there. I don't know what that's for or why it exists. But you got one here, got one there, got one here, 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 and that little guy where that little dowel thing is. So yeah, 2 dowels to kind of hold it in place and stuff like that. Oh, and this is all the parts for the Killer Bee engine. Just got a little bit of surface rust, which I need to remove. But especially on these, that's really not good. Yeah, that's where all the bolts for the trans are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 bolts, and I got 3 so far. Okay, so all bolts removed at the point where I'm removing the trans, or separate the trans from the engine. Yeah, there's a little bit of play, as you can see, between the plate that goes between the trans and engine, but yeah, this is the scariest part because this is kind of heavy and I'm here by myself. Probably not the best idea to do this by myself. Oh, it's about to come out. Oh, there we go. It's separated. Okay. All right. Okay, there shouldn't be anything attached to it still, except for that slave cylinder, which I will get out now. Okay, so here's the inside of my bell housing. So as you can see, you got clutch residue everywhere. Woo! Nice. Huh. Wonder how much of it is gonna fall out. Oh, we got little pieces of metal. I'm guessing that's all from the clutch too. But yeah, it's fucking everywhere. Holy shit. I'm just gonna put that over there. It doesn't move on its own. How is that pilot bearing? It looks like the sill's kind of torn up. I don't know, I'll know when I get there, but the, let's see, the bearing itself looks okay. I'm gonna change both of those out either way, along with this pressure plate, and of course this file is gonna go away too. I'll just know when I get the clutch off. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put my stopper up here, and then yeah, take this shit off. Okay, so flywheel stopper is just this little guy. For NA RX-7s, or like 70s NA rotaries and stuff like that too. Let's see, the flywheel is a different size. I have both NA and a turbo / RX-8 over there.
But for the RX-8, you need to get a turbo RX-7 / RX-8 one like this. The NA ones will have a little bit more of a curve going down here because, well, obviously it's smaller. But let's see, where you set this up, you start threading it in to one of these holes. If I can get it lined up. Shit, doing this with one hand. Oh, hey, I have a lot of access to those. I want to change those out because I have 2 of the good ones. Anyway, all you do is you just line that up and then get the other bolt. And if it will let me, there we go. Spin it by hand. Let's see, I don't think these need to actually be tightened down, but they do at least need to be pretty snug. I believe that's 17 mil. Yeah, you just tighten that down a bit and then it'll hold this in place. You can do everything you need to do, including removing the main rear flywheel nut. All right, now I'm to the point where I'm taking the pressure plate off, and all of the bolts holding it on are 14 mil. So stopper in place makes it a shitload easier to take it off. And yeah, take them off one by one and get back to you once they are all off. So see you in a sec. Okay, so just got the pressure plate off as well as the clutch. Here's the 2 big pieces that came off of it, all that material. And here is the clutch disc. Yeah, I don't think there's much life left in this at all. Let's see. This side looks good. That side's all still there. Okay, so finally broke the torque using leg power. I just used my breaker bar thing along with this little weight thing. One end's capped off, that could be removed, but one end didn't have the thing, so I just used that for extra leverage, and I was able to break the torque. So now I should be able to get this off the rest of the way, no problem. Never mind. I think the battery in this might be low. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep going with the breaker bar. Yeah, so because I don't give a shit about this flywheel at all, and I don't know where my hammer is, it's somewhere over here. Okay, so I got it off. See, a little bit different than what I said. So instead of just using my, what is this, a 2-pound? Yeah, 2-pound sledgehammer. I put my breaker bar right about here, and with my hand I held it, just kind of leveraging it off, and while doing that I just hit it with the hammer, and a couple really good whacks and it came right off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this off. It's kind of stuck on those dowels, and clean all this out and then inspect stuff. Let's see, I'm probably gonna be replacing this rear mainsail just because it doesn't appear to be leaking anywhere at all. So I don't think I need to replace it, but just for reassurance, place it anyway. But oh, yeah, here's all the clutch stuff that came out all over the place. Yeah, gonna get to work and do that. So see you in a bit. Okay, so rear mainsail's in. I believe it's fully bottomed out. Looks pretty much even on all areas of it. So next I'm gonna go ahead and put the flywheel on. All right, so flywheel nut is not totally secure. But what I'm gonna do from here is take out each of these bolts individually, and then I'll put some blue Loctite on it, and just torque them back down to the spec they are. And then, yeah, that'll make sure the flywheel is secured to the counterweight, and it won't fly off and go through the trans tunnel, destroy my legs. Okay, so I think I'm gonna get stopping point now. Flywheel is installed. So I need to torque down the flywheel nut. My torque wrench only goes to 150 foot-pounds, so that will not do. I mean, you could probably send it like that, but half the recommended torque spec, not good enough for me. So I'll see if I can just stuff in my old clutch. See if I can rent one from like O'Reilly's or something tomorrow, and then torque it down, and well, get my clutch and pressure plate installed, and try and get this trans out from underneath the car, because if I can get this from underneath the car, that means I can get my other one into the car, and I won't have to drop my trans again. Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna leave it for tonight. I'll pick this back up in the morning, and hopefully I'll be able to get it done before I have to go to work. But by that time, I'm probably gonna end up having to drive the SA anyway. But that's perfectly okay. Nothing wrong with driving an RX-7 to work. Unless it's my RX-7. I really hope the rear end doesn't shit on me. But no, I'm blabbing. I'm gonna get cleaned up, go to bed, and yeah, it's like past midnight now. All right, see ya.